Hey, what is up, everybody? How you doing? It's your boy, the Birdman from the Birdman Show. I'm gonna get to my guests. I got a couple of special ones. One has been here many times before. Another one who's actually new to the Birdman Show, but is a long time great friend. But before we do that, you know this is the Birdman Show. You know I'm the Birdman. You know what we do. So why don't you go ahead and do it now? That is right. All right. So I got. Listen, I just want to jump into this. We're gonna stop the music. Stop the music. Stop. All right. So like I said, I've got some great guests here. Um, like I said, everybody, most people know Miss D. She's been with us, especially on our TikTok family, for quite some time. How long has it been now?
I mm, I don't know actually. It's been a while.
It's been a while. I mean, it doesn't really. When I just said that, it didn't really seem like after I said it's like well, it doesn't seem like we've known each other that long. But no, we actually have. Well, we'll figure it out one day. We'll figure it out one day. But anyways, Miss D is an amazing woman. Love her husband Jeff. Amazing people. Let's just say that. And what I love, one thing I love so much about Miss D is that just the wealth of knowledge that this woman has. Um, and some things, there were some things that I wish she didn't know about because then I end up having to find out. But we're not gonna get into that. It's neither there here or there. Miss D, how are you doing?
I am doing okay. I spent a good part of the day kind of organizing my notes and getting everything ready for tonight, and I'm looking forward to this new venture.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna tell on you, Miss D. I'm gonna tell on you. Now,
Uh-oh.
Miss D messaged me earlier and was like, "Yeah, I was getting my notes together. You know, what I'm saying, trying to give." I said, "Yo, you'll be fine. You good. Don't worry about it. Like you good. This is not your first rodeo. You know what I'm saying? You've been on here before. You've been here before. You're gonna be fine." But I
Yeah, but I
am.
squirrel out just as bad as the rest of you guys, and I was trying to like kind of
I know.
contour that in a
Listen,
bit.
you'll understand that it's gonna come natural to you. It's not gonna. You're gonna be just fine. So it's gonna be all good. All right. But I'm glad you are doing good. I'm glad. I can't wait to hear what you got for us, especially especially on this topic and what the heck is going to spin off from it. But I've got to say what's up to my boy. I've known this man for oh my god, it feels like an eternity. This is one of my brothers in arms. But even if we didn't serve together and we met somewhere, I still think we still have the same type of friendship. Just because we're just both of us are just that crazy. Anyways, this is Monty, like YouTube, everybody else knows him as Mace Valor. Mace, how you doing?
I'm alive. I'm
Yeah, I'm glad
good.
to see that.
As the great old Dave Ramsey would say, better than I deserve.
Yeah,
Out of
right.
touch as fuck. Anyway,
Mm, that's good to know. That's good to know. So, wait, but we do that. I know you're joining us on your platform as well. You want to tell the people where they can find anything that you're doing on YouTube?
YouTube is just kind of like a hodgepodge of whatever. It's kind of an outlet for me to interact with society. You're familiar with this feeling. There's not a ton of people that we can actually like deal with, and most people in the world we just can't stand. So YouTube has kind of always been my way of raising my social meter. If my life was like The Sims. So I basically is lately have just been gone off the deep end on like let's make sense of our collectively screwed up situation and tethering upon the narratives that we're given. But yeah, so the YouTube is Mace Valor. TikTok, which I never really post on there, that's everything is Mace Valor because why not?
Yes. And I am promising, and I've already made that promise. And I've talked to Monty already. I've talked to my other two um, partners in crime. Jimmy might actually be on here later. I don't know. I don't even know if he's on. I'm trying to pull up. Yeah, I'm pulling up TikTok now because I did not have TikTok pulled up, and I do apologize for that, everyone. Where's my other phone
We've
at?
got
Oh,
5 people in the room right now. We've got, I know, Itzy, JJ, so Amber, JJ, Spicy Cass.
Spicy Casshole in the house.
Yep.
Hey, what's up, sis? That's her
I
name
see
on.
DK in there too.
Oh, I know DK in it. DK is a loyalist.
Hmm.
Oh my God.
On YouTube, I have Scientific Spirituality on. He's another one that kind of dives into things that most people don't go after, and it's mostly a lot of paranormal stuff. So it's nice seeing him
Really?
in the chat.
Oh, that's what's up. Okay, so let me see. Okay, so all right, so you already had somebody in your chat, right?
Yes, on YouTube.
Okay, so what I'm gonna need you to do, if while we're doing this, if they have any comments or anything, or a comment jumps out to you, let me know and I'll let you read it. 'Cause
Oh,
that's
most
normally what we do
definitely.
here. That's what we do because I with here I could just do this and I can just pull somebody's comment in, but I don't have your comments. So if there's anything that pops up, you would have to be the one to say that. Did I
Oh,
just see
for sure.
Brandy jump in or Bambi jump in?
Could have, yeah.
Did I see my niece Bambi? Okay, so let's get started. I'm sorry.
I had to
I was trying to.
reread that, TK.
Yeah, I know. I had to read it a couple times myself. So like I said, we're here. We're gonna be doing this topic. Like I said, I gotta say what's up to everybody on TikTok. Thank you guys so very much. Those who join us over here on YouTube. I know I seen Tabs in the house. Tabs, what is up, sis? Hope you're doing well yourself. Those watching us on Rumble, waiting for comments to come in. But we thank everybody for their support. You guys are phenomenal. You guys are always there for us. You get it figured out. Okay. Okay. All right. Sorry. Okay. But we thank you guys for your support. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate it. Now let's get down to business. Okay, because this is fun. Okay, so this is a new adventure. Well, yeah, I guess you can say it, yes, because it's kind of a spin-off of an episode that we did, which was on conspiracy theories. But we all know, especially the three people in this studio, 100% know that there is absolutely positively no way you'll ever be able to go through 3 or 4 conspiracy theories in just a 2-hour setting. Like, there are so many out there about so many things that it's impossible to really sit down and say, "Hey, we're just not gonna, we're just gonna talk about this and that's it." No, because there's too many rabbit holes, and they're not rabbit holes; they're black holes. That's not a stab at me for being black or anything. But but you guys get it. Like, so I love talking about this stuff. Monty and I have had so many different conversations about stuff over the years. And I love it because like he might say something that I'll just sit there and be like, dang, I didn't think about it like that. Yeah. Oh, but what about this? And then you kind of do the ping pong, you're bouncing it back off of each other. So that's what I love about it. And then Ms. D, man, I didn't realize how much you were really into the conspiracy theories until we did that episode.
And again, it's not really how many conspiracy theories that I'm into. I'm just into the research. You can give me any topic, and I will research the hell out of it for you.
Hey, Monty, I tried to tell you, man, this woman, I tried to tell you earlier, if this woman didn't work for the CIA or FBI before, she might be getting recruited, bro, because she can find anything. She can find anything. Okay, but here's, like I said, we're doing this. This is going to be our conspiracy theory series for the Birdman show. Maybe we'll come up with a different, cooler name for it. And just like leave the ties to the family, but it is what it is. But this is what we're starting off with. Okay. The Mandela effect. Is it mass memory failure or mass manipulation? Now, this one we've actually done a 2-part series on the Mandela effect. I think it was in season 3, maybe season 4. And we talked about all kinds of different things. I'm gonna ask you both this question. Ms. D, I'm gonna start with you, and then we'll swing it over to Mace. Now that you kind of understand the Mandela effect, right? For the most part, when I say understand it, you know what it is. When you first heard about it till now, what are your overall thoughts?
Um, You sure you want to start with me? Um, um, I mean, the first thing, you know, with any research is I go and I look for the definition. I
Right.
want to know the definition behind it. I want to know the theory behind it. I want to know, where it came from. So I did all of that. But like a lot of people, and how the term was even coined, for the longest time, I one of those people that thought Nelson Mandela died in prison in the 80s. So when it came out that he was released from prison and all of that, I didn't think twice about it. I mean, I was still fairly young, so I didn't think twice about it. But the fact that this comes out in uh, the effect comes out in 2009, and he died in 2013.
Yeah.
Um, so of course that got my gears really going, and it made me question the pretty much everything. Is everything a false memory, or is somebody manipulating what we believe, what we see?
Yeah.
It was a deep dive.
Yeah. It'll really mess you up there. Mace, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think I'm no not to. I don't know how old you are, Misty, but I know that Tim's fucking ancient. So I'm of the camp where I grew up in a world where that information was what it was. He was already like I never believed that he died in prison because I wasn't around for any of that back and forth to take place.
Right.
So when he did die in 2013, I was in Korea. It was just like oh, okay, whatever kind of thing. It was like, oh, this is just life is normal. There was nothing weird to kind of pick on.
Right.
But at that time, naturally, when these events happen and they come up, the people that did believe otherwise, that they start like making it a trending thing.
Right.
And that's when you see the other stuff with like Fruit of the Loom, like the brand stuff, like the cornucopia and stuff like that. And it's hard because I've always been a man of like logic and reason, and it makes sense with how corporations are the way that they are. When it comes to something like a corporate logo, that is something that can very easily kind of be memory hold. Like, what are you talking about? This has always been our logo, because they change them all the time and stuff. But when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to something more like world events and the manipulation of the narrative of world events, we've seen intelligence agencies all over the world kind of dictating like what knowledge is spread and the narrative and how it's framed. So I'm still of the camp of I would say the wacko dimension shifting parallel universe collapsing whatever thing. I'm still on the fence about that, but the idea of people in power and organizations in positions of power can manipulate the masses, and utilizing our technology, it's so much easier to do that than ever before. So it's like a weird thing. It's like I do think that the Mandela effect is a thing, but I kind of lean towards more of a reasonable material world vantage point for how it's being used.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I'm right there with both of you. Like, I just kind of fall in there with both of y'all, because when I think about some of the things, and especially like some of the things we talked about in the series that we did, a couple seasons ago, like when I think about like one big one that everybody talks about, the Fruit of the Loom, with it being a cornucopia or not. Like, I had the Fruit of the Looms with the cornucopia.
I
And
remember the cornucopia. That's like the
yeah,
one weird
I
thing.
do
I
too.
yeah,
don't buy Fruit of the Loom, so
yeah. Like, it wasn't like I was like shopping it for them all the time. What I'm saying, there's like a few that I had. And I'm like, yeah, I remember that. I remember that. It's cool. And I don't remember, but the thing is, I don't remember when they took it out. What I'm saying? They try to say that, okay, well, no, it's never been had a cornucopia. Okay, but no, it definitely did. That's number one. Number two, when the heck did you take it out? Let's talk about that for a second. The
I
other
think I
huge
remember
one,
when.
really.
I think.
Huh, okay.
Remember when they did like the ads on TV where the guys were dressed up? Like,
Oh, as the fruit.
right. You didn't see the
Huh.
cornucopia then,
I could have sworn I
but
saw it for like one of the commercials, and then after like a while, I didn't see it after that. I could have sworn I saw him at least maybe. And once again, I, I don't know. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Okay, I don't
Mhm.
know. But like another huge one was the Sinbad movie with Sinbad, or was it
Shazam versus
Shazam
Kazam.
movie with Sinbad. Yeah,
Right.
Shazam with Sinbad. That's what it was. Thing is, you can tell me all you can try to play me all you want to with that. We owned it at my house. We had it. That's one not DVDs, but VHSs that we had. We had that. And then since I've seen somebody like I've seen, videos since then that people talk about that, and then I've seen people even on TikTok posting clips from the movie. So like you can tell me all you want to. There's very few movies that at my house we watched as a family, especially if it was like a family oriented movie. That was one of them, and we watched it quite a bit. So you can try me all you want to. I ain't buying that crap. Um, oh, that is a very good point. Wait a minute. Oh, so this one is the Grand Wizard.
Oh
That's
yeah,
from
these
you.
are people that are coming up on YouTube.
Okay, so your comments are coming in.
Oh, good.
I did not realize that. So that's awesome. I do want to acknowledge the people that joined us from Mace's YouTube. Thank you guys so very much for joining in. Love it. This is awesome. That's pretty. This is the first time I've actually had somebody bring their platform in. So that's cool. Thank you so very much. They're good old Mace helping a brother out. Okay,
Yeah,
so
doing what I can.
so now we've talked a little bit about what the outline basis of what the Mandela effect is. So my question to the both of you, um, we're taking a different take on this. As far as the Mandela effect, what it is, what it is, what it's not. I will say this now before we're starting the show, like really kind of I'm gonna say this 100%. It has never been proven because we're gonna talk about it being a social experiment. It's never been proven that it's a social experiment. Okay, it's just theories. These are things we've we feel or maybe think our opinion, or it's also stuff that we've actually researched. Okay, so this stuff is coming from the internet. It's not coming from us, as in this is the Bible. This is the truth. We're giving you no. It's never been proven. This is just a theory. Okay, and thing is now the other question is it a real psychological phenomenon? The thing is, the answer is yes, 100%. That's why it may feel like somebody might say, "Oh, they're throwing out some crazy stuff," but no, it's just that this is something that could really it's messing with people's minds, man.
Mhm.
It's the Bearstein Bears, the Berenstein Bears. No, I'm not doing it. Anyways, so this is not like we're sitting there. Like I said, I just want to make sure I reiterate that that this is not us telling you guys, hey, these are all facts. It's been proved. No, this has never been proven to be a social experiment. This is something that's floating out there, and we want to talk about it. Okay, now let's get into the nitty gritty here. Okay. Miss D, what can you tell me about the Mandela effect as far as this whole new take on? Well, I don't know if it's new take, but it's a new take for us on it being a social experiment.
So, with again definitions, so government social experiments generally refer to studies that are typically federally funded, um, that they evaluate the potential effects of a policy option on a group of subjects or in historical context, unethical human experimentation conducted without informed consent. So there's that. Now think about that. Conducted on humans without informed consent. Um, and I have a lot of examples to go with that, which you actually have scheduled for your Wednesday night podcast. There's some of those subjects that kind of go into it.
Wait a minute. First of all, what is Wednesday? I forgot what
Wednesdays,
is.
I don't know what. I didn't write down the
Oh crap!
production schedule for the regular podcast.
Thanks for reminding me. I need to
I have Monday's production schedule.
I forgot. Dang, my bad. Dang. Okay. Oh my god, my week is so crazy. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Please continue.
So, but the thing with the Mandela effect, cognitive psychologists explain it as a result of how memory works, with false memories, often by memory distortion, misinformation, and outside information.
Mm-hmm.
Now, somebody who has worked with dementia as long as I have, and I teach how the brain works with different dementias, it actually brought up more questions than answers for me, because we're taught with dementia, like, things will affect the hippocampus, which is the filing cabinet of the brain, but it doesn't typically affect the amygdala, which is like the inner workings of the hippocampus. So, we always say dementia, it's like they may forget your name, they may forget who you are, but they'll always remember how they make you feel.
Right.
Amygdala works on emotion, hippocampus works more on fact. So, as far as misinformation, is it misinformation that we as a whole are, forgetting, and then this group of people that are having these false memories, they're all having the same false memory. So are you telling me that their memories all work the same? Because part of it is they're saying, the research that I've done is that the human mind.
I don't mean to cut you off.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't mean to cut you off. Is Jeff all right?
Oh yeah.
I thought I
dog.
Oh, I thought I heard a werewolf back there. I was like, oh, now.
No, that's Valkyrie.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you. I just want to make sure Jeff's all right. My bad. I'm sorry.
Everybody worried over there, Jeff.
Like, do I blink twice if you need help?
No, they're playing tug of war over there.
Okay.
But like, for everybody who has these false memories, or misinformation the same way, but you're telling me that their brain also fills in the gaps the same way to have the same false memory, it doesn't make sense to me.
No, I mean, I agree with you 100%. Like that, it's for it to be on this grand of scale, I think is what that this gets me. It's not that, maybe it's just like a certain group in a certain part of America. It doesn't just hit America, the world. Like a lot of these things that people are talking about when it comes to the Mandela effect, it doesn't just affect America. There's people in the world the same type of things really affect. Oh Lord, the terrorist came in here. Oh, when I say terrorist, I'm talking about my 2-year-old that's running around the house. I think everybody can admit to that. I'm not talking about actual literal ones. So please don't call freaking ICE or somebody. Have them showing
They
up.
are adorable tyrants.
They are tyrants, 100% tyrants, dictators, whatever they are. But no, that's what I think bothers me the most when it comes to this is that simple fact that it's not just a group of people. This is a lot. There's a lot of people that this really affects. So yeah, that's how I'm with that. You finish your thought, right?
Yeah, I finished.
Oh, okay. I was turning back over to you so you can finish. I do apologize. Ace, what are your Ace Mace? What are your thoughts on this? I'm used to kicking it to my other co-host.
Yeah, so I like to keep things. I like to keep things measured, especially things that I'm not well versed in. But so I'm going to take it from two different perspectives. One is the more measured, and the other one is the batshit, you know? So from the measured approach, because of like the example of you had said the Sinbad thing, because I remember watching Shazam when I was a kid, and it was Shaq, and I have distinctive memories of the movie. Of I want it to rain burgers, you know, and it's like so. Whenever I hear that element of it, I'm like, eh. But then I hear the cornucopia thing, and I'm like, well. And then that kind of just goes back to corporations doing what they do, and there's been enough time between now and then for old stock to not really be as much of a thing anymore. But I have seen people like poke out like, hey, look at this old vintage Fruit of the Loom I have. So from that perspective, it does raise some questions. Now, on the angle of our memory, I know that I can be very susceptible like anybody else. When new information is given that I'm not otherwise privy to, it can distort my further research of that information. So if there's an element of the Mandela effect that I am just not aware of, like let's say it's about some sort of event, and I'm not already versed on that event, so it's essentially like a neutral blank slate, and that's my first introduction to that. Any further information that I gather on that is going to be geared towards based upon my first interaction with that information. So then when you like go broad scale, it's like, well, how many people does that affect? Because let's be honest, most people in the world don't really care too much about what does not immediately affect them. So when this information does come across, they're very susceptible to the potential manipulation of the information, which then could in turn go back to this whole social experiment thing. But I kind of lean towards more of it's like an interesting byproduct of events rather than a direct orchestration. So with like the Mandela thing, that was a lot of like McCarthy Cold War era stuff. Trying to stop the encroachment of communism, and Mandela and a lot of the people that were supportive of him were pro-communist and socialist ideas, and the Western world did not want that, especially like in Africa. So getting a foothold of capitalist ideals, that is why South Africa is the disaster that it is today. So there's like, I do feel like there's a lot of more measured reasons to kind of explain this. And but it all does ultimately back to the powers that be, doing what they do, and then how we absorb and witness the effects of what they do without truly knowing the deeper layers of all the involvement. That's just like a happy coincidence. Oh, we've confused a lot of people. Let's kind of see if we can do that more, because they love to twist narratives to kind of bend it in whichever direction that they want us to go. Now, from the other angle, the more one, there's a bunch of other related conspiracy theories that are a lot to go into, but this comes down to essentially like the whole parallel realities and souls transferring realities, this, that, and the other, and then stuff about Project Looking Glass and looking towards the future. And then the powers that be are kind of manipulating, quote unquote, the time stream, as it were, so that here we are, like, we're all funneling into a preset reality that the elite are hoping to kind of push us towards. So, like, there's a little bit of both. One, I obviously lean a little bit more towards, but I definitely entertain a lot of the weird stuff, mainly just because I only know what I do not know, which is why I do like hearing the different perspectives of people more versed in these things.
Yeah. Now, here's my take. First question I always ask, because when it comes to something like this, first question I always ask, and Monty can attest to this. When you're especially when like you're in the military, you hear a lot of stuff, and there might be some times in your places that you actually see some stuff. I'm only going to speak for myself. I'm not going to speak for Monty when it comes to this. I know, especially when I was with my infantry units, I saw some things that I probably shouldn't have. Yeah, I also did a lot of things that I definitely know or definitely regret doing, but it is what it is. Um, it, my question always comes back to this. First of all, are the powers that be, is there a chance that they are likely to do something like this if they could? And the answer, I mean, I think it's a resounding yes. that if they were capable of doing this, would they do it? And I think the answer is yes. Now you might think, okay, so what's the benefits of doing something like that? Well, if you can manipulate someone's mind that much to where you can erase a complete product or something as something that, like, when we talk about Sinbad, because like May said, he remembers Shaq. I remember Shaq, but I most definitely remember Sinbad. Because when that came out, I can't remember when the year it came out, but I was a kid. I think I was still I might have I don't know if I was even in the middle school at that time. I was still a kid. And I remember watching that because it's attached to a fond memory I have with my family because, like I said, that was a movie that we watched as a family. And we watched it several different times as a family. So that was a memory that was attached to that. You're not going to break that type of memory in most cases. So that I 100% believe that if they're capable of doing it, if it's possible that they're doing it, they could do it. They're doing it. I'm just gonna say it like that, because the turnover. Do you guys know about the light bulb? Really, how the light bulb was designed? It was actually designed to run for hundreds of years, but they buried that along. That's a computer. I actually have a whole one for that one, Miss D. I meant to say that to you during our production meeting, but that one.
The light bulb thing, that's not, I wouldn't say that's conspiracy. That's fact.
Well,
That's
yeah, it's fact.
collusion
It
by
is fact.
corporations.
They still actually have the first light bulb. They actually still have. I can't remember. It's in my you. Okay, so you're nodding your head, so So they actually still have it, and it's still working.
Mhm.
But the thing is, they were like, well, why would we make products that would last so long? How are we gonna get those repeat customers? So therefore, if you've noticed, sometimes your car needs to go into the shop a lot more. Sometimes your phone starts acting up, and you're doing all this other stuff. Why do you think people always try to get you to upgrade to the next thing? Because they're not
Planned
building things.
obsolescence.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. It's because they're trying to make sure they keep you hooked. We talked about this before, Miss D. Everybody is addicted to something. And a lot of the stuff that we're addicted to now has nothing to do with drugs, nothing to do with alcohol, nothing to do with anything illegal. It's that legal stuff, the stuff you go and you pay taxes on, and they keep you coming back from that. So that is a thing that's a real thing. That's been a proven thing about that. And May said it, planned obsolescence. Keep them coming back. You make weaker things so that way you keep them coming back. And when you're making weaker things, you're also creating weaker people, weaker minded people. And I think it's what's happening a lot. This freaking Mandela effect messes with me so much on so many different levels. Britt, if you're watching, I am still mad at you for this one, and I will never forgive you. Never, ever forgive you. Because Britt was the one that brought this original subject to us, and it's been a problem ever since. I think it's at least come up. I think the Mandela effect at least come up in, I think, every single season, at least once or twice in an episode, just off a topic of something else. I'll never forgive you, Britt. Okay. Okay, so what do you? Okay, so I'm gonna ask you this, Mace. What are your thoughts on the possibility of the source monitoring as far as information? When it talks about this stuff, how they're saying people are controlling the information. Number one, they're controlling it not only with the flow of what's coming in, but the flow of what's going out, because they're getting your information. They're following, you're tracking everything all your movements. Do you think that could kind of make it easier for this Mandela effect to really take wings and really mess with
Oh,
people's thoughts?
oh, easily. So this kind of goes back towards American patriot Edward Snowden, falling on the
Mhm.
sword to produce necessary information to the masses, right? That not just that the government's spying on us, which kind of we always already knew, but it was the collusion between corporations using our data and in conjunction with like the three-letter agencies and whatnot. So it's when you look at like the history of America, right? This wonderful country we have. There's media empires, and the idea that the media has almost always been bought and paid for, that it's all profit driven, and that you know, you want to get as much money as you can, and that there's a massive incentive to have the government not be on your back when you are one of those empires. So the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So of course they're more likely than not going to be working in conjunction with one another to facilitate whichever thing they want to spread. It's like Fox News, CNN, and MSNBC. When you look at any of these big mainstream media things, it's always more of the same. It's never them really actually having positive discourse and looking for any type of viable solution. It's all about sitting in the problem, making sure that we stay divided amongst each other, and that's it. So that's part of like the whole bread and circuses thing. People kind of tune that out, and then you have an older generation of people that's what they grew up with, that's what they know. They don't trust technology, and and how don't believe everything you say on the internet, or the same group of people that believe everything they see on the internet. And it's just maddening. It's all about that whole divide and conquer from within, because if we are at odds with one another, if we can't understand what is truth over what is fiction, it's far more easy for them to kind of lead us in whatever direction they want us to go. Like prime example, not too long ago, there was CNN of all places was this interview. You had AOC and you had the old dude, Bernie Sanders. And during the conversation, they're trying to talk about things that actually matter. They're bringing up the oligarch class and kind of how they're kind of taking over. And then what does CNN do? Well, they start trying to pivot and talking about AOC potentially going for the White House one day or something. It's like, why are we even entertaining talking about that? Like, we're trying to talk about something that actually matters to people, but instead of focusing on that, you want to kind of redirect, because you understand that there's going to be opposition that will watch or will feed into this narrative, distracting from the things that actually matter. And then this goes into like modern day. What are the things that we're really facing that hurts us the most? And Palantir, Palantir is a corporation with government contracts, and that it's nothing more than a way for the government to circumvent the Fourth Amendment, because they legally cannot directly go in without a warrant, right? But companies can, and companies have. There's data leaks all the time. And what is the punishment for a multi-billion-dollar corporation? A couple $100 million is a slap on the wrist, of which most of that money, if brought through a lawsuit, the vast majority of those funds go towards the law firms. People like me and you, the ones that are actually affected by this stuff, we get like 10 cents? It's not even enough to cover the postage. So it's all just complete and utter nonsense. And it's all about collusion. It's all about these two different entities that have an ultimate same goal. The media empire wants to control and dominate in terms of profit and revenue, and that the government wants to control the populace. That way, we are divided amongst ourselves. So the few people that do pay attention, they're so polarized that eventually the government's going to end up getting their wishes. They're going to get the consent from the masses, mainly because people just tune out because they're tired of hearing about it. Or you have people that are so riled up that they'll like, oh, yes. Look at 9/11, right? 9/11, it's like I was of a person of a day and time where I bought and drank 100% of the narrative. But then as time goes on and you kind of look back and you see the effects of it, it's like, it was a false flag that garnered consent of the masses for the continuation and destruction of the Middle East. Like that, like when you connect all the dots and you bring it there, it's what they do is they do all these things. They feed us a particular narrative in order to garner consent of the masses. And that way we're complicit. Because it doesn't matter if we know all the truth. The fact that we agreed to do whatever action, from their perspective, it's like, oh, see, it's okay. They wanted this. They approved of this. It doesn't matter if like we tricked them. It doesn't matter that we lied to them. What matters is that now all the masses are complicit in the bloodshed that's about to happen.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, dude, you hit the nail on the head. Like, I ain't got no much. I got nothing else to add to that. I do though, however, I want to go over to acknowledge some comments. We got some comments there in on YouTube. Grand Wizard, Appreciate the comments. And you said you like to share your favorite Mandela Effect YouTube channel. Oh, okay. Is this the one right here? Okay. All right. Well, if it's that one right there, I'll leave that up for a few seconds. If anybody wants to jot that down or whatever, definitely go check that out. I'm all about supporting people. And I'm going to keep that. I'm definitely going to keep a copy of that for myself because I definitely want to check. Like I said, I love all this stuff. And I think I posted that up there. But he's joining us, watching us from Sydney, Australia. That is dope. That is dope. Love it, man. Appreciate that. Um, you got some good people supporting you there. He also, hey, he hit the nail on the head too. He knew exactly what it was too.
A lot of my things
Just
are real narrative driven. But Miss D,
Mhm.
like you said, you're very well versed in like the research on these things. What is your perspective of all that?
Well,
There you go.
that kind of my notebook here. Um,
Get it.
so I mean, as far as being able to say that it's a government um, driven event, I mean there is lack of evidence of it. Um,
Hmm.
no credible evidence or declassified information. And as we know, we are
Hmm.
in the age of information and we're getting bombarded with it all of the time. But as things have become declassified, that we were told for the longest time didn't exist, wasn't a thing, and then things are getting declassified. Um,
Yeah. Area 51.
Area 51, the MK Ultra experiment.
Oh Jesus.
I mean, I was doing a real deep dive on that. Um, I mean, some of these things were with the information laws on information being dispersed didn't come out until 1977. But some of these social experiments that were being brought on by the government started in the 1930s. When you're talking 40 years of these experiments going on, and we know nothing about it for 40 years, it kind of leads me to wonder because a lot of these were you know condemned by the government, by
Yeah.
the health and sciences community because of the illegal acts of basically you know not getting informed consent from these,
Right.
I'm going to call them victims, but from these people that were involved. The thing with the Mandela effect, if you really want to break it down, it's not harming anyone, and it can support the hypothesis for a longer term study.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, I again, same thing with you, Mace. I'm not big into like the whole particle articulation and the that I think is a little off the wall, but um,
Yeah.
but when you're talking about, okay, let's start it with things that people see in the media all the time. Let's start it with the small things and see what kind of effect we have. You're not harming anybody, so therefore it can be considered an ethical social experiment.
I can agree with
But
that.
where does that end, though? Because
There
if
is
they
no end.
can control the population on the small things, where does it end?
Well, the thing
I
is, you
mean,
got to
look at
remember.
countries like North Korea. Their
Yeah.
information is very limited on what comes in, so
Yeah.
their lives are basically a Mandela effect.
That'd be scary. But I mean, especially when you look at that, I mean, you just got to think about just the simple fact that all the little things add up to big things. Um, and the thing is, like, if it wasn't for like a few key things, like I talked about, the Shazam with Sinbad, as well as even with Shaquille O'Neal. The reason why, this, and I can remember maybe a few clips from the Shaquille version, But the reason why I remember more of the Sinbad version, and even though I was a younger age than I was when the Shaquille one came out, is because of what it was tied to. The other memory was tied to. And I think a lot of people, that's where a lot of the stuff's coming in because we'll see things like I the one I'll tell you I'm gonna say one I'm confused on. This is one I'm really confused on because I'm literally it's I'm getting hit from all sides. I feel like I'm in a freaking 3-minute round with Mike Tyson in his prime. But the one that gets me is Kit Kat, where they had a hyphen, or if it did not ever did have a hyphen. You know what I'm saying? Like I love Kit Kats. I almost can picture seeing it with a hyphen, but I don't remember. I honestly don't remember off the top. I just can't remember. It's not because it's not really tied to anything. Yeah, I love eating it, but what does that mean? I mean, it's not like I enjoy eating a lot of things. Before anybody says anything,
Like
no, we're not
Smuckers
going
for
that
the
way.
teeth.
Yeah, I agree. I can't remember if it had
The hyphen or not.
yeah, I can't remember if it had a hyphen or not, but for some reason, and this goes back to the thing I said before, where it's that thing where if you're not 100% sure from the get-go, it automatically invites you to question. So it's like, maybe it did,
Yeah.
because you could like see it in your mind's eye, and it's like,
Yeah.
actually, yeah, that would make sense,
And the thing I go along with also what you said, Miss D, was you said, I don't think it has too much harm when it comes to it. For me, I don't think it has harm right at this moment. I'm skeptical of it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm very little. My antennas are going up when it comes to it. But I don't think the reason why for me is because I know how my mind is, and it definitely is not what it used to be. I don't even remember a time it was at a point where it used to be. These kind of things engage a different part of my brain to where I'm constantly thinking about stuff, which is actually helping me in other things, other aspects, because now I'm remembering other things, because I'm constantly thinking. So these types of things, I don't think in that sense, I think it's actually really good. Because for somebody who loves these type of topics and things like that, your mind is just firing. It's just firing constantly when you start talking about stuff like this. So I'm all for it. But until I find out that there's one thing that he really messed me up on, and then we might have a Rambo situation going on here. But I digress. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do real quick. We're gonna do this real quick. All right, we're gonna take a quick commercial break. When we come back, Miss D, while we're on the commercial break, what I need you to do for me, check out the TikTok comments, see if we had anything coming up that we need to respond to for me on that. I'll continue scanning the YouTube, and make sure you can do the same thing on yours. If there's anything that stands out with yours, just let me know. But we're gonna take a real quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with more of the Birdman Show.
Yep. Drop. Gotcha. How we doing, everybody? This commercial is brought to you by Dubby Energy Drinks. Dubby is an energy drink that you mix at home. Dubby is formulated to give you focus and energy with no jitters or no crash. So, their formula contains vitamins, amino acids, and neurotropics, including the patented neurofactor. There are no calories, no sugars, no fillers, and no artificial colors. So if you need something to give you the energy to take on the world, Dubby is what you need. Go to dubby.gg, that's DUBBY.GG, to get yours today. Hey, as a special bonus to our followers, if you enter the promo code just Birdman Show, you will get 10% off of your first order. Hey, tell them the Birdman sent you. Stop.
Yo, what is up, everybody? How you doing? It's your boy, the Birdman from the Birdman Show. You already know what to do, so why don't you go ahead and do it with me? That is right. Bird, chicken, the bird. I might change it up once in a while. And go, but we'll see how it happens. We'll see what happens. Anyways, cut some music.
I mean, Thanksgiving's coming up. If you start gobbling, I'm gonna lose it.
I tried to get Rain to gobble earlier. Wait, pause. I tried to get Rain to do the voice of a or the sound of a turkey. It was so funny. She was going blah 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 blah. I was like, what? Are you a freaking Volkswagen? Like a Urban the Love Bug Volkswagen or something? What is that? Yeah, she just no, she didn't do very well. Anyways, hey, I'm the Birdman. This is the Birdman Show. We are doing a conspiracy theories series. That is it's part of the Birdman Show, but we're kind of keeping it separate. So we'll be doing this. We've got a whole season just for this one. So I'm excited about it. But this is what this episode is about. This is the Mandela effect, mass memory failure, or mass manipulation. That is the question we're asking. Like I said, 100%. We're just some people on here who were mistakenly given a platform to talk about stuff like this. So don't take anything as we're saying as Bible or that we've. Now there are some things that yes we can definitely say. Hey, there's been research, and hey, yeah, if you really want to know about some conspiracy theories you don't think that's out there or is true, have been proven true, go to the CIA website, because a lot of the conspiracy theories I'm going to talk about this season, I've gotten from the website, CIA.org. Just go there, type in whatever you want to know. They've declassified a lot of files, so like I said, a lot of the ones we're going to be talking about have been declassified. So on those, yeah, you can stick it up your nose. Anyways, I'm back here. I got Miss D with me. I got Mace Valley with me. How are we doing? Mace, let's start with you. How are you doing?
I'm good. Did we time travel?
No,
feels like we're starting from scratch.
No, I always ask that whenever we come back from a break. Just want to see how everybody's holding up.
I'm good. I'm chilling, man. This is interesting convo.
I'm loving it. Who was that just joined us on Facebook? I mean, not Facebook, but YouTube. Corvid. Is that was I'm who is I?
No one can convince me that Ed McMahon did not work for Publishers Clearinghouse. Didn't they go bankrupt recently?
They did. Well, I was the reason why I was responding to that because I agree with you 100%. The reason why because when I thought it said COVID, I was like, that's an interesting name to have. But see that the Mandela effect. No, I agree with you. And I can't believe that they seriously tried to sit there and try to say that man was never part of the clearinghouse. You are. I'm trying to be a good guy here. You're out of your mind. Yvonne, okay. Were you tuning in for? Is this your first time here on the show? Watching this from the show? Because I don't remember. Maybe just. But seriously, is this your first time watching? Because I don't ever remember that name. I definitely would have remembered that name, especially if it would throw me off about looking like COVID, but it's not COVID. That's awesome. I mean, if it is your first time, thank you for joining. We really appreciate it. Okay, so we have been Oh, first of all, Ms. D, what do we have going on TikTok?
So we started off with we were talking about addictions and whatnot. Amber, she's addicted to Reese's. Des, same thing.
Yeah.
Amber had mentioned, I remembered goat eyes. I'm not sure where that stems from.
I'm gonna stop real quick. Yeah. Watch this from Ontario, Canada. That is awesome. Thank you so much. And it is first timer. All right. Glad to have you. Glad to have you here on the episode. Glad we can pop that Birdman cherry there. All right. Anyways, okay, let's rock and roll with it here. we say a lot of crazy things on here, so I hope that doesn't scare you. But yeah. Okay, so what were you saying now?
Amber had mentioned, she said, I remember goat eyes, and I have no idea the context of that. So if she could pop back in and let us know.
Oh, she's saying Shazam.
Shazam, the
Goat.
Shaq 8 goat eyes on the movie.
What? I mean,
Now,
maybe.
I do kind of want to go back to the whole Shazam thing because I remember Shazam having Shaq, but I remember Kazam having Sinbad.
Huh.
And you and I are about the same age, Tim.
Kazam?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Listen. I'm not gonna sit here and argue. I'm not gonna sit here and say, nah. I'm not gonna, I don't know. Listen, I don't know. I don't know. Okay. This whole
Okay.
let me break something down to you people. Okay, break something down to all y'all. When it comes to stuff like this, especially Mandela effect, my mind is so gone. You know what I'm saying? You know how many concussions I had when I was in the military? We're not gonna talk about that because I can't remember. But okay, kind of point. This messes with me so much on, like I've said it earlier. It messes with me so much on so many levels that is crazy. Like, so that's the thing. That's the thing that maybe that's the issue. That's the issue why people are saying what they're saying is because they're thinking of Kazam Shazam, right? So that's the thing. Like, I listen. It's bam. I don't know anymore. But then I seen the person that I saw that posted the videos about Sinbad, and they're basically doing the exact same thing. So whether it was Kazam or Shazam, that I don't. They were the lines were pretty much almost the same. Like they had a title of the thing that said Shazam on it. So I listen. I'm talking about they had the actual not DVD, VHS tape with the actual case, and it said Shazam on it. So like listen. I don't even know. I don't even know. And the way AI is with these that you can create anything and make it look like damn near original. So I don't even know anymore. I think I'm just actually, you know what? Y'all can have the show. I'm just gonna go to bed because I don't.
Sorry, did I blow your mind with that one a little bit?
You did.
Sorry. I'm good for that. I know.
Yeah, and I know you are. And I was ready for it, somewhat, but yeah, I guess I didn't prepare myself enough. Okay, so did anybody else have any other comments there?
DK was commenting about us being on a Monday. Yes, I love that the series is on Mondays because that, scratches a few more of my itches because I enjoy the interaction. So, and Amber, Des had mentioned the Berenstain Bears.
Yeah.
Berenstain or Berenstein. That was actually one of the top ones I had on like the common examples of the Mandela effect.
Right.
That nobody knows when that switch happened. I mean, I remember the Berenstain Bears with an E instead of an A.
Yeah.
But a lot of people remember it with an A.
Yeah. It's for me, that one's and I know that really predates Bonnie.
Yeah, I never got into them.
Yeah, I remember them, but it wasn't one of those ones that was like I'm sorry, it was comic books for me, so it didn't matter. I don't remember a lot of children's books. If my mom did read them to us, I don't remember any of them.
I think that the Mandela effect as a whole has a greater effect on Gen X than millennials, because most of the Mandela effects that millennials argue back and forth about tend to be tied towards brands and corporate things.
Yep.
Whereas with the millennials, it's or with the Gen X, it's more so tied to important world events, because the information that you guys got was basically radio and television. And with us, we got the internet, And so anytime that the masses get a form of technology, we know that the powers that be that allowed us to have it have already had a greater version of that same tech by leaps and bounds.
Yeah. And the thing is, I mean, especially what you're saying, because like I was of that era, like radio had already phased out, by the time I was growing up. So radio was already phased out. So it was mainly television. If I got any type of information and stuff like that. But then before, I think it was by the time I got to high school, internet popped off. Yeah, it was high school. I got into high school. Yep, it was in high school. So when I got into high school, that's when the birth of the internet happened. Yeah, because I had the AOL. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know nothing about that dial up, if you don't know the pain of having to sit there and then don't mess up and somebody have to try to call the house. You gotta shut the whole operation down. So yeah, it was tough. Like it was tough. And like when I think about that then to where we are now, and the fact that I could just pick up my phone, I don't even have to, I can be so lazy as not to even type anything. I can just say a name and it pops up and I can tell it what I'm looking for. I'm not saying the name because that name is not to be spoken in this office, because I have like 4 different devices in here that will freaking pop up if if I say that name. But you got other names like that, like Alexa. You know what I'm saying? You got, I'm gonna say the other one with the G, because that will pop up too. But you got all these different things. You don't even have, and then the fact that they have AI programs. I know because I have one. But and then it helps keep track of my schedule because I'm horrible about it. But you have those type of programs where you can just, tell it to wake up or whatever or whatnot. And you can tell it, hey, this is what I got going on for this month. This is my schedule. They map out your schedule. You say, hey, this is what I'm gonna be cooking, each night of the week. This is what I'm cooking. I need a recipe for this. And it'll have that on there. And then it'll set you a reminder for the time you're supposed to start for your prep time. It'll send you a reminder 30 minutes before you're supposed to start to remind you, hey, you're gonna be cooking. You might want to get in gear. You know what I'm saying? So
There
it's
are
like
programs now, Tim, that it has a sensor in your refrigerator, will tell you what's
yeah,
in your refrigerator and what you can make from it. I don't need that much surveillance in my house. I got plenty with the AI stuff.
yeah. I'm like I like having things because sometimes my brain just not working. It's just not. Um, and I say, you know what? Sometimes it's okay to have something that will help you out a little bit. But then a lot of times I'm like, yo, this is not good per se. This is not good per se. Maybe I shouldn't. Um,
The refrigerators piss me off. I'm sorry. It's like the technology, don't get me wrong, it's cool, it's flashy, and it can be used in wonderful, convenient ways. But at the end of the day, what's the main purpose and drive of a refrigerator? To keep our food fresh. And we've seen over time that these really expensive, like, has a screen, has all this crap in it, high tech, but those
mhm.
things break all the time. And it's like you get an old ass refrigerator without all the bells and whistles, it gets the job done. It's not that much more like draw on energy, and also the upside of it's not constantly spying on you. And then when you circle back to the greater scheme of the whole planned obsolescence, those older machines, like, they're more in line with right to repair. It's easier
Right.
if something broke, I would be able to fix it. But the moment that
Yes.
you start putting safeguards and computer chips and stuff, then you have a justification. Like, oh, I need to protect my IP as a manufacturer, so we can't allow people to remove this and put like a $5 replacement in it on their own. So it's definitely like, by us, like, we love the convenience, we love the technology, we do think it's great, but what's the ultimate cost? Is that we're
Yeah.
losing these other freedoms that we don't otherwise pay any mind to. And then what happens is we go down the road of willingly consenting monopolies to form, and that consent is through our pocketbooks.
And the thing is,
It's another layer of control.
Yeah, and I can give you a very simple example. Okay, like cars. Okay, cars in general. Cars used to have, you can work on yourself. You had a light bulb go out. You can go to like someplace like AutoZone, O'Reilly's. Um, you can go to a place like that and you get what you need. Come back home, have your vehicle repaired, and you're good to go. You know what I'm saying? I went from, because I had a 2000 Chevy Silverado, single cab, and I love the truck. I fixed everything on my own. I had to replace a whole tail light. You know what I'm saying? Went on YouTube, looked it up, said, okay, how do I replace that? Oh, bet, okay. Went to AutoZone, they ordered the part for me because they didn't have it there. It was there 2 days. As soon as I got there, went out there, popped the clips I need to pop, did all the other stuff, unhooked the old tail light, put the brand new one in, which looked exactly like my other one. Boom. I did that in 15 minutes. Done that with tail lights, you know what I'm saying? Changing oil, doing other stuff. I have a 2014 Buick LaCrosse right now. And went in and got my oil changed. It was a few months ago. Got my oil changed, right? And so I told him, I was like, hey, my power steering light came on. Was there when you guys going to fill? Oh yeah, we can fill that for you. So he goes down there, doing the thing. He comes back and says, hey, we weren't able to do that. And I was like, what are you talking about? Power steering fluid. I was like, why? Because there's a bunch of stuff we'd have to undo, unhook this and that, and then just to be able to get to the power. I was like, you freaking serious? So you're saying now we're making cars to where I have to go back to a dealership, or go to an overpriced mechanic to actually fix my stuff. Because if I do have my oil change or something like that, if I'm not doing it myself, because I have a place here, I go 10 minutes, and I'm in and out. I'm like, you know what? I will go ahead and just pay that. And, I can't just fully dedicate a Saturday to make sure I'm changing my oil. Now, if I had to order a vehicle, I would do that 100%, because I've done it so many times. I've changed brakes on different types of vehicles. Great. I can't touch this stuff now. Like, I have to have a freaking degree in rocket science in order to be able to work on my own freaking car. And I'm not going back to school for that. I'm not doing it. But no, I mean, that irritates me. I think what also irritates me the most out of it, though, is the fact that you're taking time and jobs away from these people. AutoZone was booming. I don't remember a time I went in on a Saturday to like someplace like AutoZone, and there wasn't at least 15, 20 people in there. Now I walk in there, I can get what I want. I have one person, you know what I'm saying? Maybe they follow me around because I'm black. Anyways, I'm sorry. No, but they was like, hey, sir, hey, what do you need? What you need? I say, hey, I'm looking for this. Like, oh, yeah, come on. I'll show you what it is. I'm like, okay, man, you like really, dude, you must really love your job. No, he's happy to see somebody that's going to spend some money to where he can actually hopefully keep his job and feed his family. Like that. That's what ticks me off. That's what really pisses me off with this stuff. It really does. It pisses me off with this stuff because we come out with all this new stuff, but then we don't think about the actual repercussions of what's going to happen to everybody else, the people that actually work these jobs. It's great to advance. I'm not saying not to advance, but when we start coming out with so many different technologies that now like I'm saying, the whole AI, they're coming to these factories and stuff. Those are taking away jobs. They're sitting up here talking about the government sitting up talking, well, we're trying to create more jobs for people, but you're pouring in billions of dollars into this AI programs that will actually take jobs away instead of taking that money and actually feeding the freaking people of your country, making sure everybody has what they need, make sure people have affordable health care. We'll go spend money on advancement of AI or military weapons and stuff, but we won't take that same money or that same energy and put it back into your people, the people that keep the country running. I'm sorry, Birdman did not mean to get on a freaking soapbox there. Anyways, I do apologize, but that subject right there will be on.
Well, the subject of food is everybody's got to eat, man, and it hits all of us. One of the interesting things I've experienced from my time, because I do a lot of social media on Chinese social media, and from what I've learned is the amount of money I spend on food in just a couple days, my Chinese friends can feed their families for a month. And it doesn't, it's like, it's one of those things where it makes sense. We have, in America, we have probably one of the most fertile farmlands in the entire world. Geographically, we won the lottery. We have 4 times more the arable farmland and far less people to feed, but we don't produce as much food. And the food that we do produce costs tremendously more. And it's like, make it make sense. Like China's working with rougher numbers as far as their agriculture goes because it's mostly mountainous. And then at the same time, though, their population is leagues ahead of ours, but they have their part of their whole cultural revolution was the bread and basket program, to where they wanted to ensure that every citizen, no matter of status, had the ability to eat. Whereas in America, you know, food is seen more of as a privilege than a right.
Like that, I almost feel like the Hunger Games. I mean, without the the extravagant costumes that they were wearing. But I mean,
I've seen some of those, man.
I know. I mean, sometimes there's a ball thrown, or some kind of party thrown somewhere. We're not gonna get into that. But and they just invite people. Hey, $30,000 a plate. What? First of all, what the hell are you serving? Anyways, 30,000 a plate? Like really? Like, hey, I better come out with like 5 illegitimate children if I'm gonna pay $30,000 for a plate. Anyways, my bad. But no,
but it's all a write off at the end anyway. So
this is very true. Just write it off. Yeah, go ahead and keep it. Yo, this is like just really crazy to me when I think about this. And the thing about it is, we can start with the Mandela effect, like we did, but because of it, there's so many other different avenues that just spring off of it almost immediately. And it's so crazy to me to think that, okay, so you're telling me that this didn't happen, or this was something that was always there, but I can vividly remember that that's not true. So now you're trying to make up stuff to tell me that's not true. And then Misty, I think you're the one that brought up like the JFK files and stuff like that, the declassified information they were bringing up and everything.
Oh, I
You
mean,
brought that up earlier.
Declassified. You've got the JFK files. You've got Roswell, Area 51.
Yeah, Roswell.
Let's see, a lot of the declassified stuff that you can now from social experiments. The Tuskegee syphilis study is another one.
Do not get me started on that.
Yeah, like I said, that was a 40-year social experiment. Project MK Ultra. That was a 22-year social experiment. And the theory is that, or not theory, but the excuse on why a lot of those records aren't available is because they were destroyed in 1973 due to the CIA. So a lot of those records aren't available to us. Operation Sea Spray from 1950, and that was to simulate biological warfare.
Wait, did you say Sea Spray?
Operation Sea Spray. Yep, it was 1950 to simulate biological warfare.
About the movie Hairspray. I thought you were talking about the movie Hairspray. Like, don't talk about my movie Hairspray.
Sure does make a pretty woman.
I love that. Right?
But again, for it to be considered a Mandela effect as a social experiment, there has to be some sort of scientific evidence. But if those records aren't declassified on a lot of these things, we're not going to know that it was a social experiment until much later.
You're 100% right. It's just so, like I said, a lot of stuff is it's crazy to me. It's amazing to me because I just don't. Who do we have got filtered? It's probably DK again. Somebody got filtered in TikTok.
Well, I mean, his last 2 comments was, I feel bad for this spot.
Oh, I
And
see
he's
that.
like, I feel
I
bad
see
for
it
the
now.
spy in
I
charge of
see it now.
watching my phone, especially if they have access to my camera. I wink at my phone during alone time.
Yeah, hey, listen. Hey, that might be. Hey, it's funny, but we have like the Xbox Connect, and
Mhm.
I've disconnected all of ours, because the especially one I had in the living room that would just used to just come on by itself, just the Connect, not the Xbox, just the Connect, and it used to come on by
Mhm.
itself. I was like, yep,
Yeah, that's
that
another
will not.
thing to
That will
think
never be plugged in
about
again.
is they were pushing the Connect really hard, but the people that like even got into it, it's like, dude, what is this? Like, it was gimmicky, you know. But then when they released the Xbox One, Don Matrix was very hard about like, we got to keep it in line, we got to have it bundled. But no one wanted it. It's like, we want our next gen console, but like
No,
that was a cool fad. Why are we still including this? And there's probably
yeah,
some weirdo reason why, because that's a camera right there in front of your living room on display constantly.
I mean, that's a recent theory
yeah,
with TikTok. A lot of people are saying that, they're opening their TikTok and they're seeing photos that were taken of them while they were sleeping and whatnot from their own phone. I have not researched that at all. I don't know the any of it, but that is something that has been going around. But I mean,
I'm
it's
gonna
true.
have.
If
I don't know
we
about that. But I don't know about that though, because if you going to sleep, are you holding your phone? Like, are you holding your phone like in front of you?
Well, a
Like
lot of people
when I
will
go to
put
sleep,
their phone on their end table or whatever. I mean, especially
oh
like
yeah, I get that.
I doom scroll. I doom scroll and then I listen to my morbid facts um, as I'm falling asleep. So my
Right.
phone is actually up on my end table and I've got the screen on facing me so I can kind of watch it until I fall asleep.
Okay,
Um,
I understand that. I can understand that.
and I know I'm not the only person that does stuff like that.
No,
Um,
I
but
don't doubt it. I was just confused when he said it. I was like, wait a minute, because my you used to be gonna catch a picture of my ceiling. Um, like so.
But
Yeah, I don't know.
how scary and chilling is that thinking that we give these programs access to our homes, whether it's, AI, Alexa. I can't say the S1 because of
Yeah,
all
that's
of
how
my
I
stuff
am
go
too.
off. Um, any of those, if we give permissions to access our camera and our microphone, who's to say that somebody can't get into that? I mean, nobody's going to want to get into mine. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah,
But
no, I mean, maybe they didn't want to get into mine about 10 years ago. I'm pretty laid back now.
If you want to
Just
like
because.
freak out, you can go to uh, G your G activity because it has
Right.
all your data there. They
Yes.
I will say that that company, even though it's a lot of menus to go through, you have access to a lot of your data, and there's a lot of voice prompts that you can do, especially like while you're driving and stuff, right?
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
in that, and this is something years ago that they got in hot water legal trouble with, is that there were unprompted audio recordings where it would just randomly start recording you. And then,
Now,
but
is that part of
all that data,
the lawsuit that's going on right now? Or is that something different?
probably something different. I
Okay.
haven't. It's a lot of the antitrust stuff and anti-monopoly stuff is kind of gone to the wayside ever since we lost Lena Khan from the FTC. Because for the most part, may not have been the biggest fan of Joe Biden, but I did appreciate him putting her in that position because she
Mhm.
felt like probably one of the first people in that role that actually stood by consumers.
Yeah. 100%. I do
So,
agree with that.
so having her gone, one of the first thing to happen was a lot of the lawsuits and anti collusion stuff for corporations. A lot of that stuff just went away because it wasn't in the best interest of the administration and their friends. So,
Yeah. I mean, that's just what's sad. I mean, uh, when you get, and I don't care who it is, when you get whoever's in office and they're obviously blatantly in favor of a certain class of people, and they're not really doing anything for everybody else. That's just an atrocity. I don't care, it should be balanced out as much as possible. When it comes to a lot of this stuff, like you look at other countries, where like Japan's one where they're elites, they're people that are making money. They put back in. That's the reason why a lot of them have. I think because they have free healthcare. I think I could be wrong. Maybe do they? I don't know, or do they just have a lot of witch doctors? I don't freaking know. Shaman over
Great,
there.
that earworms can be stuck in my head now.
I'm sorry. But anyways, no, but I mean, they put back into the people. They put back into their country. And that's never really been something. I'm gonna say there's never been something that's been done organically in this country. It's either been forced by whoever's in the office at that time, like, hey, we're gonna tax the rich, and they're gonna have to pick up the slack because they're making billions of dollars. And you used to say millions. Majority of them are billionaires, multi-billionaires, and when you got one right now trading in the waters of being a trillionaire, um, like it makes sense. You're making all this money. You want more people to spend money on your products. Why not put money back into the economy to make sure they're able to afford everything to where they are spending more money? Like that makes they think it's a great idea to control the supply and the demand for it. When in reality, if you make it to where life is comfortable for everybody and they can afford all the things they want, they're definitely we're America. We love buying stuff we don't need. So if if we can buy the things we do need and not have a problem with it, guess what? We're gonna buy a hell of a lot more stuff that we don't need. That's just my two
That
cents.
a lot of that, because that was an era of American history that lasted from the end of World War II, I would say, up until like the 90s when things started going downhill. But a lot of this could be answered by anacyclosis, and it's an old Greek thought of looking at the rise and fall of governments, and you can take that rhythm and you can apply it to things like technology. You can apply it to things like media, and essentially what it is it's a noticeable pattern of how we go from one state of government into another. So you start off with the baseline of everyone in the world, tribalism, and that would be considered like the truest form of communism. And then some sort of event happens where there is a necessity for a strong leader. And then that's where you get monarchy. And then over time, because of the hierarchical nature of monarchy, you then have what turns into a tyrant, where they are completely self-serving. And then the masses rise up, and that is replaced by an aristocracy. And the same thing happens, and then you eventually get democracy, but then democracy transitions into oligarchy, and then from there, we go down. And then we repeat the cycle. It doesn't always have to start back at the beginning, but it can revert back into something else. Like we saw with the French Revolution, they went from a monarchy that was a tyranny, and then you had the aristocracy that was trying to balance things, this ruling class of elites. But eventually, they just were so self-serving, and their response was to go. And they had like a very socialist society with a parliament and whatnot. Russia, with the Russian Revolution, they went start from scratch, go to communism, right? Which for them was a very new thing. But in the cycles of human history, communism isn't new. The explanation of it is relatively new. It being documented and put out in a particular way for people to understand. But the actual process of a government structure like that's as old as time. You have uncontacted tribes that essentially live the same way today. So what we're experiencing now in America is what Russia, the Soviet Union, faced in the early 1980s, before the complete fall. What's happening is the people at the top are swallowing up everything. They're basically in fight or flight mode because the masses, for lack of a better term, are waking up to how unfair the system is and how the scales are tipped in one direction or another. And so what our government in collusion with corporations have been doing is the whole bread and circuses thing, the same thing the Romans did. We as the American empire, what we're doing is we push out the vast majority of our funds outside of the US, and anything that is brought into the US is not necessarily brought to the masses. It's all centered into a small group of individuals. And so when we look back at like the heyday of America, like the 70s and 80s, when there was all constant warfare. You had the Cold War going on, so there was tons and tons of money being made through weapons manufacturing. You had our issues with Southeast Asia and trying to root out communism and stuff. That's how we were essentially as a nation making money, is that yeah, we were able to be able to buy a bunch of useless crap, but the reason why we were able to do that is because we were on top, because we were the ones involved in making other nations suffer. Going back through human history, same exact thing as the British Empire, same thing as the Spanish Empire, same exact thing as the Roman Empire. Like, history doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme. We are following the same rhythms and nothing's really changed.
It's like the Pied Piper. I mean, like people, and I've heard this, and Monty, I know you've heard this, and Miss D, I know you've heard this as well. People referring to, um, at first I see it more in America because I live here, so I mean I can't really speak too much on other countries. They've referred to some people they just follow along, just the sheep. Just because any sheep, if you watch the any herd of sheep and the shepherd, those sheep follow that shepherd around everywhere. They know his voice. If he calls out to them, I've seen in other countries where I've seen they can do a certain call. They can tell you and show you how to do that call, and those sheep won't come. But the moment that shepherd does that call, whatever it is, they come running, and I mean they come running, and they make sure that they get there wherever he's at. Now it can be viewed in two different ways. In a lot of cases, people view the shepherd as being the protector of the sheep, and putting them in a position to where they're going to thrive, they're going to be successful, they're going to live, and they're going to do what they're supposed to do, right? But in the wrong hands, that can be very destructive. You know what I'm saying? If you, I'll tell anybody quickly, don't ever follow anything or anyone blindly. That is the dumbest thing you can do. I grew up in a religious household. Grew up in the church, and I was a part of the church for a long time. And the first thing I would tell you, even when it comes to that, never follow your religious leaders blindly. And the reason why is because they're human beings, and humans get tempted with sin all the time. Now you got those out there, they do their job, they're faithful, they never break. But you got some that do, and when they do, they can destroy lives. People I've dealt with said, I don't want to go back to that church because the church hurt me. No, the church didn't hurt you. The religion didn't hurt you. The people that you thought you could trust in what you were doing hurt you. That is no different from any other aspect of life. You know what I'm saying? When you get unfortunately, when kids get essayed, or whether they're children or they're teens, or heck, even sometimes in their adulthood, and they get essayed by a family member or somebody, they know that's because we already know that majority of those are all committed by someone that is known to the victim. um when stuff like that happens, you tend to take it out on everybody else, and it's understandable why, because that was the most vulnerable spot you could ever be in, because you would never think something like that would happen, and it should never have happened. And what that does is, now it warps and changes you for the entire of anybody else that tries to come in your life. Now, sometimes that's a good thing, because sometimes you become more aware of certain people and you keep that out. Sometimes sometimes it can be a bad thing, because sometimes you push people out. And it's one of those things where I'll tell anybody quickly, you're not wrong either way you go. I will never tell somebody who's ever went through something like that, well, you shouldn't do this, or you should. No, I'm not going to tell you, because I've not lived that nightmare. I'm 100% thankful I've never done that. But I've lived other nightmares, and I know that when it comes to certain things, there's just certain things you can't just break out of. There are certain things that just hit you so hard, or they disturb you so hard, they rock you so hard, you just cannot get out of. And I think right now, tying this back into what we're talking about, that's one of my biggest fears when it comes to a lot of this stuff. Because some people's minds are so rooted in certain things that no matter what you say, no matter what you do, you can't change my mind. And that's dangerous because if something happens that it actually does shake them and change their mind, it could really destroy a lot of things. The mind is it is a lot more fragile than most people, like to think, but it's also a lot more tougher if you train it and you continue to work with it, you continue to build it up. It can be a lot stronger, but it is a lot more fragile than you think. Yeah, Ms. D, we've talked quite a bit about, like, especially when it comes to his mind and stuff and how fragile it is. What are some of your thoughts when it comes to that? Wait, forget that. They're saying that Kazam was Shaq, not Shazam. That's what they're remembering. Does he see?
It could just be like they don't remember.
I'm going to look up the IMDb.
Because I've heard Shazam and I've heard Kazam. The movie I remember was Shazam.
Yeah, I remember that too. I remember that for Sinbad, and I thought it was the same because I remembered it for Shaq too. So see how that even works? Like Mace saying, "Hey, I remember Kazam for you said Shaq, right?"
Yeah.
So he remembered Kazam for Shaq, and Shazam. Well, he doesn't remember Shazam for Sinbad.
Well, no, I remember Shazam as Shaq.
Okay, yes.
That's the title and the thing. The Sinbad involvement that came from when the Mandela thing was trending. Like,
right.
Oh my god, dude, I feel so old now.
According to the IMDb, Kazam was with Shaquille O'Neal.
Okay.
And that came out in.
It's me not remembering the title, I guess.
Okay. So now so on that, does it say anything about Shazam?
That's what I'm looking up right now.
Okay. And I ain't talking about the new one with Billy Batson.
Now, according to AI, there was no 1994 movie called Shazam starring Sinbad. And it's a famous example of the Mandela effect. But I remember a movie with him being a genie.
And it was listen, I know, like I said, you're not gonna get an argument from me. I watched it. We owned it. So there's no way.
I don't want to be that guy. I'm having a hard time remembering any movie Sinbad's ever in. Like, for whatever reason, Sinbad. You mean the guy from Law and Order? No, that's LL Cool J. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking. Or Ice Cube, or not Ice Cube, or Ice-T. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like
it's Ice-T.
I don't remember any of this shit. So for someone like me that's just not like super invested in it, it's one of those things where it's very easy to manipulate. And that kind of goes back to the thing where Gen X is kind of like a staging ground, and then millennials are where they implement the things that they've learned in terms of like whatever the social experiment is. Because it's easy for you guys to kind of like go back, no, I definitely remember this. But millennials, us not like being super privy to it, we're like, yeah, sure, whatever,
whatever floats your boat, bro.
So there is an IMDb for the movie Shazam with Sinbad. It has its directors, his starring list. Hold on, let me see if I can pull up the production info.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna tell you right now, my all-time Sinbad movie, Necessary Roughness. I freaking love that movie. He plays in that movie. I freaking love that movie. If you've never seen that movie is hilarious. He's in ATL? What the freak did he play in ATL? I do remember him being on that episode of Family Guy.
It's got a full production list.
Listen, I tell you, man, Mid D find anything. She find anything. Listen, man, you still can't find that
Listen, I have
that little
not
pair of
found
shoes
Hoffa
you
yet,
had.
but I've been close.
Well, they told you stop looking for them.
I was a Teamster for a few years.
Oh my God, I love finding out new things. Okay, so you got the whole production.
Mhm.
Oh my God, Solomon Grundy was born on a Monday. Haha, he was. He wasn't. He definitely was. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't there, but that was on the other side of the town. Okay, so what is it saying?
Let me see. It's got the storyline. On Of course, I just scrolled up. Um, no, where's that one now? Your writers, Royce Adkins, Mike Trapp. Um, Directors, Royce Adkins, Ryan Anthony Martin, Sinbad. Let me pull up the cast and crew. Bradley Bunley played James. Jolie LaFord played Rachel. Sinbad played Shazam. Yeah, it's got a full credit list. But what I haven't found on here is dates,
Yeah, about to say like
production
release
dates,
date.
release dates. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Release dates.
What?
This is saying it was
Sorry,
released
earlier
in
comment.
2017, but no, it was well before that. But again, you can't always, like Mace was saying, you cannot go by everything you read on the internet. And unfortunately,
No. Well, the thing is, especially talking about anything on the internet, it could easily be changed.
oh yeah,
Tabs is saying 1994, which, yeah, like I said, I would test that because, like I said, I remember sitting there watching it with my family. So, I mean, that's the date that most everybody else knows, but the fact that it's not, y- the fact that you can find the production, um, basically roll call, but you can't. It's like
right.
I think it's almost like they're saying, okay, listen, we can't necessarily erase this one from everybody's mind. So let's just erase dates. Let's just make sure they
Right.
can't confirm what date it was. The information's there, but you can't confirm what date it was. Good luck,
And
people.
unfortunately, with trying to confirm things like production calls, those dates are so important.
Yeah, they are. Because you can get so much. You can get a lot of different information on there. Okay, so other than that, what do you feel is a Mandela effect that is maybe not so that you don't feel is well known that you can speak on personally? Do you have one, Mace?
No, not really. Like I said, I'm one of those people that just I don't know. I just, how do I explain it? I haven't come across anything that's kind of piqued my attention outside of the information being like introduced. So for like I guess for like the Shazam thing or whatever, it's like unless someone brought it up as a Mandela thing, I just never would have
Right.
lost sleep over it. And I think
Yep.
a lot of us are like that, to where it's, most things, we're just like whatever about. It's like, you know,
I'm right there with you. I'm be honest with you. Even with the Shazam one, even though it's one that like hits one of my like childhood memories, I still don't freaking lose sleep over it. Like I don't. It doesn't come up unless like it's in a setting like this. You know what I'm saying? If somebody brings it up, it's like whatever. Like it's to me, it doesn't feel like it's that big a deal. Even like with the Kit Kat one, even though that does kind of bother me, just because I could sworn I've seen because I used to eat Kit Kats a lot, and I'm like, man, that's my go to. And you gonna tell me it didn't have a hyphen in it? Like, but maybe it didn't. I don't know. I can't remember. It's just one of those things. That one was so subtle that it just didn't really register to me, I guess. But like I said, at times I can remember certain ones. And then, so I understand. I'm not really with you. What about you, Miss D?
I mean, as far as like the common ones, Berenstain Bears, the Monopoly Man, does he have a monocle? Doesn't he? Um,
Oh yeah, that's
any
true.
of the
Yeah,
logo ones, those for me they don't affect much. Um,
right.
and like I said earlier, if it is more of a government conspiracy that they're trying to cover up to see if they could pull this off in the long run, it what bothers me with the Mandela effect when it's presented that way
Mm,
is wondering how far it will go. Um,
mhm.
like so within the online communities, Reddit is a big one. You'll find a lot of theories and ideas in the Reddit forums, where
Mhm.
some users theorize that the effect is a psyop or government experiment designed to sow public doubt, test memory manipulation, or gain control over public knowledge and a shared sense of reality, that the government is testing how easily they can alter public memory or minor cultural details before moving on to more significant historical facts. We've seen governments, not
Yeah,
just our own, but we've seen other governments already trying to either skew or clear out historical facts. And is that going to be a Mandela effect in the further generations? How far does it go? And that's
yeah,
why I like I said, the logos, stuff like that, it's not a big deal. Who cares about that? But when we move on to bigger subjects, that's when I want to take a step back.
So
Something as
on
something
that
as
note,
oh, sorry, go
yeah.
ahead.
And I'm
here
go ahead, go
this
ahead.
is like the whole memory hole thing. And so instead of looking at it big scope, let's narrow it down to more recent events, right? And this, because all
Mhm.
of the interesting thing about a lot of these is that they're all tangentially connected and work with in tandem with one another. So prime example, there's I can't say this name out loud, but surrounding this is a tremendous amount
Yeah,
of back and forth, different theories. There's the conspiracy ones, there's the given narrative one. The given narrative one does not stand up to scrutiny whatsoever, but it doesn't matter because too many people are polarized and they're focusing on the infighting of the event as opposed to actually witnessing the event. And much like 9/11, 9/11 was a crime scene, but it was not fully
yeah,
investigated. It was cleaned up rather quickly. Within a week, the entire grounds on which this event happened were completely upended and removed. And you know what I'm saying? And it's like,
yeah,
that's an example of them using what they've learned and using the tools at their disposal, being in tandem with mass media to shift narratives in a particular way, to where while we fight amongst each other upon the details, they're allowed they can then push out whatever narrative they want to kind of spin, whatever people are paying attention to a particular way, and then this kind of fades away. We're no longer as much talking about that because there's these other things over here we need to talk about. Because I like there's like a
yeah. The
laundry
funny,
list of weirdo I could say about this, and
oh, trust me. And eventually, I do plan on doing an episode on that one as far as conspiracy theories because of a lot of stuff's coming out. But that's one I'm kind of taking my time on because I'm really kind of soaking in the research and other things that and the videos and stuff and the other things that are coming. I'm soaking that in a lot because if I ever do whenever I decide to do an episode on that, I want to give a full breakdown of what's going on. So yeah, I'm with you on that 100%. And I think I mentioned this to you, Miss D. Think about what's going on with AI and how they've got to the point where I think they said it was over 80 plus um words or phrases or things within the vocabulary English language that has been taken out by AI.
Mhm.
And it's and that number's starting to grow from year to year, to where they're just erasing it. Erasing it from the internet. And listen, people, understand something. Like we've joked about this before. I know I have. About and I'm saying to my ladies here because that unfortunately that's the biggest thing going on with some of our younger ladies doing this kind of stuff. But anytime you post something on the internet, you talk about stuff like that, and then when you talk about other stuff like other people posting stuff that later comes back to bite them in the ass, like what's his name from the TV series The Flash? He ended up getting kicked off from the show because he had made homophobic comments on his Twitter almost a decade before he even joined the show. Now he had since, even though he had since moved away from that stance, and he's been accepted. He's gone to different LGBT community events and stuff like that. He's been supportive because someone dug it up from 10 years ago and posted it. He lost his entire career because of it. So
there's quite
that's
a
why I keep
few
telling people.
celebrities that have done that.
Oh, that was just one I was using an example. But what I'm saying, because it was 10 years ago, he lost his career, and then some of us are getting upset about just posting something. Hey, there's been I've seen posts where there's been girls that do I don't think I can say that corn, and now they're coming back talking about they're trying to go back to their companies, whoever's on there. Hey, can you take all my stuff down? Because I don't want my kids seeing this. If it's out there, it's out there. There's nothing anybody can do about that. And like I said, those are examples, but that's with any and everything. So any comments that you put out there, any type of like things you're doing that is some type of a lifestyle, understand that if your boss, if you work for a company and that's not something they do, and they come up with that, they find that stuff, you're probably going to get fired, and they can fire you on that. I mean, look at some of these people who've made comments about other stuff. But like the people that are making comments when the stuff's going on about which I'm not gonna get into it, but I'll say it. I don't want to get into it. The Black Lives Matter movement. I hate saying that. I hate saying it for different reasons because I thought it started off as a good idea, but then wrong people took control of that and it just became something that shouldn't have been. It's just something that it never should have been. So I just, like I said, I have definitely a different take on it, different stance on it. I'm not getting into it. But when you think about those people that make comments then, and even people now, even with the stuff that's going on with Trump and other stuff like that, and you think about what's happening with them once people report them, and now the fact that because the internet is what it is, the superpower, where everybody becomes a superhero on there, you can say something, whether it's racist, homophobic, but whatever it is, you can say something. And if somebody catches you saying it or videotapes you or you post it and they see that, you got people that are out here on internet sleuths that are like, they're not as good as Miss D, but they're good. And now they're pulling those people's Facebook posts up, they're pulling those people's Twitters X, Instagrams, and they're sending it to those people's companies. And those people are getting fired because of that stuff. Like, hey, yo, we're not part of that. We don't affiliate ourselves with that. This person's no longer with us because you know why? They're trying to protect their bottom dollar. They can find somebody else to do their job. We distance ourselves, and now you're gone. Now you sit there crying. I can't believe I lost my job because, like, what the? Are you serious? Like, have some common sense, man. Show some type of. The only time I don't show restraint is if I'm looking you straight in the eyes. I keep filters on most stuff, but if you're not face to face with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna temper down my mouth. Now, if we face to face, guess what happens? If that gets out, I know exactly who I need to come talk to. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no those surprises. Like, man, I gotta track down who I was saying that to. No, I know exactly who I said it to. So I already know because I keep a small circle. Hey, Mason tell you we keep small circles. You know what I'm saying? We're not out there just running around with big crowds. We keep small. So if something gets out from if I said something and it gets out, trust me, I will know exactly who it came from, and I will deal with it. And I ain't trying. I'm not threatening. I'm saying that. I'm saying we won't have a real conversation. Okay, this is not like a TV show. This is not, Ghost.
This is so funny, dude. It's like, hey, yo, it's the Birdman show. Buck, buck, buck. We're gonna talk about the Mandela effect. I'm gonna beat your ass. Like, whoa, how did we get here?
Welcome to the Birdman roller coaster, Maze.
I know it's like that. There was a skit
Every
that somebody
episode.
did. There was I can't remember who. Yeah, I can't remember who it was. They were like, look, man, listen. I'm saying I'm a cool guy. Man, I ain't gonna do no. If you mess with me, I'll take you out. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, off the record, I would never do anything like that unless you make me. Like that's what it kind of felt like.
Self-defense
But
is a
yeah,
thing,
no,
man.
it is 100% is. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take another quick commercial break. When we come back, we're gonna wrap things up. Do some housekeeping things. Kind of give our closing remarks on this. This has been pretty fun. So we'll be right back with more of the Birdman Show right after this. You already know who I am. But if you don't, I'm the Birdman from the Birdman Show. That's my man, Main Ace, Main. My main. Anyways, we are from the Birdman Show. And if you've never watched the show, this is a common occurrence. Okay, so don't even trip on it. But we want to take the time to let you guys know that the Birdman Show is brought to you by Restream. Now, with Restream, you can create high quality audio and video content for your podcast. Ace, why don't you tell them a little bit more?
Now, with Restream, what you get is you get superior listening experience with crystal clear audio. Now, you can eliminate the audio drift, and you don't have to worry about connectivity. I mean, there's so much more, but these are just a few of the things that we wanted to pinpoint. With Restream, the simple and powerful podcast studio, you can easily create your own podcast, and it's effortless.
And I also want to add that you can connect up to 8 different channels. So like we stream on YouTube, we got Twitch, we're working on TikTok see that. But we're working on TikTok. You can stream to all kind of different platforms to get your podcast out there. So head on over to restream.io to start your free account and get to podcasting and holla at your boys.
Or,
So,
I mean, they could always just like not create their own.
Or you can create your own, but in between time, come watch ours.
Yes.
So we want you to do your thing,
but don't forget about us.
Yes, come watch us. Okay, so definitely come watch us every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central Time, right over on our YouTube channel at Birdman Show Podcast 9643, or over on Twitch at Birdman143. We'll see y'all later. We out. That only took like 500 times.
Understood.
Just throw your hands in the air and wait. Listen, I gotta give a shout out to my boys Outcast. They got recently inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So congratulations to you guys. Awesome. Love your guys' music. Been a big fan for a long time. So that's a great thing. Great to see that. I think Soundgarden got inducted as well. If I'm not mistaken. If they haven't, they need to be. But yeah, definitely want to congratulate Out. Wonderful accomplishment. That being said, yo, it's your boy the Birdman from the Birdman Show. I've got Miss D, I got Mace Valor with me. You guys know what to do here on the Birdman Show, so why don't you go ahead and do it with us? That is right. Let me go ahead and cut this music. Yeah, so this was crazy. This was fun. I really enjoyed it. Mainly because I enjoyed it because Ace. This was Ace. God dang it, Ace, Mace, Monty. I'm going back to your original name, Monty. It was really cool being able to see as you were able to also broadcast to your channel and bring that in. That was awesome. So that's the first time I've actually ever been able to see that. So I thank you, man. Yeah, I know. I feel like Rampage Jackson half time. especially on the A team. But no, this was a lot of fun. I am definitely looking forward to continuing this. Monty, you already know you on the show whenever. And Miss D, hey, that's our research right there. Listen, and Monty, we talking about conspiracy theories. At halftime, man, I'm telling you, you gotta check out any episode that she's ever been on, and some of the stuff this woman be bringing up to the forefront of the cortex of the memories and everything, and just knowledge and man, dude, phenomenal. Like I can't get enough of the wealth of knowledge this woman has. It's just awesome. It's a lot of fun. Love the input. So this being the first episode of the spinoff series of the conspiracy theories, what were your guys' thoughts on this episode? We'll start with you this time, Ms. D.
Um, I was expecting to kind of go off the rails as every Birdman show does, but everything that was said is so relevant to the research that that I had done on the Mandela effect, and how the government transitions a lot. So I'm still on the fence, and I didn't expect to still be on the fence, honestly, with how I felt about it. I figured I would kind of find my footing on either direction. So I enjoyed hearing all of the different points of view because it's going to make me continue to research more and really dive into it more.
Yeah, I agree. I can't agree with you more. Monty, what about you, bro?
It felt like any of the conversations that we have over the years. It starts with one thing and then you're off on some random adventure doing side quests. So very comfortable, very at home for me. And as far as like the conspiracy theories go, like this is I think a very good introduction for me in this because it's one of the ones that I can be a little bit more measured about, but it's entertaining enough because there's enough nuggets there that can, connect other dots because there are some that I am really down the rabbit hole with. The ones that I would say I'm a little bit more versed in, but those ones came from like a long time coming to grips with not just fundamental elements of reality, but also like the digging, the research, the because ultimately it's like I feel that a lot of us in the world are experiencing something and using our own information, our own perspectives, and our own language to describe whatever that is. And we get so hemmed up on the details that we're ignoring the fact that we're ultimately talking about the same thing.
Yes, I 100% agree. And I will add this nugget. When it comes to the Mandela effect, I recently, Des and I, before we got married, we were able to go to one of our new favorite places to go, and that's Branson, Missouri. I absolutely love that place. The sights, the sights. Oh my God, the food. Oh Lord Jesus. But anyways, all the things that you're able to go do. When the first time we went, I surprised her with a trip, and we went. It's only like I think it's like a 2 hour drive for us, a little over 2 hours, something like that. But I surprised her with a trip. We took a little couples weekend, and we got a chance to do some things. One of the things we loved was the comedy jamboree. But one of the things we fell in love with was a magician named Reza. Phenomenal magician. Every time we go down there, we make sure that we go to one of his shows. I actually, Monty, he impressed me so. It brought me back to a point in my mind in my childhood that I hadn't been, I hadn't visited in a very long time, and it was really awesome to see. And so he impressed me so that I normally carry a challenge coin with me. I gifted him one. He has I think he had a family member who's in the military, and then he was actually at that time when that was going on, was about to make a trip over to Saudi Arabia. And I was like, "Hey, man, so you got as long as you got a good team with you, good security team about that, you should be fine. There should be no problems. You should be good to go." And so we talked for quite a bit, and we've seen him at least, oh my god, at least 4 times now. 'Cause we've been back to Branson. He's actually made it this way, and we were able to see him here in Kansas. So I thought that was really cool. But actually, no, it was in Missouri. But anyways, that was pretty cool. But it brings me back to the reason why I'm going full circle here. Sorry. The reason why I'm saying that is because the Mandela effect feels to me like a unbelievably great magician, where it's sleight of hand, whether it's the lights, whether it's maybe a well placed mirror, um, the drawing your attention to one thing, so that way something else can be changed over here. I think that's where we're at. I think with this Mandela effect phenomenon, it's turned into one big magic show. Because if you've noticed, when we start talking about Mandela effects, when you watch Mandela effects, stuff, things like that, or if you watch anything that's going on, especially now in the news, something comes out that it really captivates the American people, and they really are on it. But then all of a sudden, something else happens to try to draw your attention away, and then that if that doesn't work, they come back to something else, and they just keep throwing stuff on there. They just keep throwing stuff on there to try to keep your attention away from the one thing they don't want you looking at. And that's what it kind of feels like to me. The Mandela effect, what's going on now in America, a lot of the stuff just feels like one crazy magic show, like Reza, David Blaine, David Copperfield, all the great musicians in the world, the ones from Now You See Me. When it's like all the great magicians in the world and come together and they're like, hey, let's do this. We got something we got to do for the government. Let's do this. Let's draw people's attention away so we can start doing this other stuff. That's what it feels like to me. Like I
All
said,
the world's a stage, man.
and that's been said how many times over the decades? Like there's no truer statement than what that was. It's just a grand stage. So I just think that, like I said, I already know for 100%. There's certain memories they're just not going to be able to mess with me on because of what they're tied to. It's just not happening. And there's other ones I'm like, man, did I experience that? Did I see that? Did I actually do that? Did I not do that? Did I not see that? Yes, that's going to happen. Like we said, we talked about it, the mind is fragile. And if you can sow just a tiny bit of seed of doubt in anybody's mind, you can do there's so many, like I said, one of my other favorite movies, Inception, with Leonardo DiCaprio. Love that movie. And I learned a lot from that movie when it came to that stuff, and I started looking at the world a little differently. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I agree with mine. This was a great introductory for this. I think this was really good. What do we have for the next one?
Next week is the Princess Diana theories.
Oh yeah, Princess Diana theories. As I see Monty over there giggling like a little schoolgirl. You got some thoughts on
Okay,
that one?
all right. So a lot of my weirdo stuff ties back into history and religion,
Right.
and there's a tremendous amount of stuff regards to her in that.
Oh, that should be interesting. That should be interesting. Are you game to come back next week?
Oh, dude, yeah, I have no life. I mean, I have my family, love
Well,
them,
I
thank
know,
God for them.
yeah.
But aside from that, I'm always free. So
Okay. All right. Good then. Good. Like I said, I'm trying to get the other yahoos on here. But we'll continue to work on them.
I
But
don't
yeah,
know if Kenny or JB are very versed in British royalties.
we'll work on some other episodes. But anyways, this was great. This was fun. I liked it. I really enjoyed it. The weird thing about this one, this one's not gonna really have a recap like we normally do, like with the other one. However, we could do, like I said, if you're available, and still even that, if you are ever available, like on a Thursday, Monty, we do a recap of episodes, and so this might be one of those ones I might include in there as well this
Okay.
Thursday. It's the exact same studio, so if you decide you want to join, you ain't got to do nothing different except join. You have the same link in it. Yes, that link that you have now will forever work for this studio. Um, wait, what? What was that? What was that comment over there on TikTok? Just so
Oh, that
you.
was Amber. She's like, don't get me started on that one. The ex did it, and you know he did. Um, that does entail a lot into the theories. But it's not just her passing that I want to focus on. I mean, that's one of the biggest things. That's one of the biggest conspiracy theories with Princess Diana. But absolutely, we'll be diving into that one. I started doing some research. I already started researching that one today. So there's a lot that'll go into that.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I am really looking forward to it. I shared your excitement there, Miss D, when it came to this, what we're doing here. And then Monty hit me up. I was like, "Yo, I'm good on my end, man. I'm ready to rock and roll." Like, bet. I was like, "Let's do it. Let's get it."
I will tease this. I will say that Princess Diana had more legitimate royal blood within her than the actual British family.
Oh, 100%. I mean, being part of the Spencer family.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, but then again, I can say the same. I mean, for myself, I'm a direct descendant of the Mary Queen of Scots. So I have quite a bit myself.
You good, Tim? What happened?
Yeah, I was reading some I was reading some of the comments. I was trying to figure out what the heck.
I wasn't sure if you froze for a second.
No,
I was like, wait,
I did freeze. I did freeze. I was like, wait, what? What's being said here? What's going on? But yeah, no. Yeah, I am actually now I'm definitely looking forward to that episode. Just hearing just what you two just said, I'm definitely looking forward to that episode. So oh my goodness, it's gonna be so fun. It's gonna be so fun. Okay.
I will say though, Tim, the week after, especially having some of your battle buddies join us if we can, the Roswell and moon landing theories, I am really looking forward to that one. That one is going to,
because we were
because
talking
I
earlier.
want to keep that one lighter.
Yeah, and the thing is that Monty and I were just talking earlier, right before the show started, about the listen, it's
I have thoughts.
Oh my god, this is gonna be so epic. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this. This has been awesome. So like I said, what we're gonna do is with this is just gonna be every Monday, at 6 p.m. Central Time. Now, what week was that we're doing? There's gonna be a week. Okay, so what we're doing, we're basically doing what, 2 episodes and then taking a week off, right? Or is it 3?
So it'll be 3 episodes, a week off, and 3 episodes. The only time that's going to change, and we're still going to have our 3 episodes, but
Right.
instead of Monday, we're going to push it off to Wednesday, but that's not until episode 11.
Okay. Okay. That's what I thought. Okay.
So
Yeah. So we'll definitely make
February 11th.
Yeah, we'll definitely make sure that we make an announcement for that. So that way, hey, we're not going to be on this Monday. It's actually going to be a Wednesday episode, like a regular Birdman Show podcast episode. Because that's what we ended up doing with the production meeting for that one. Is that if we needed to fill in episodes, what I did was I decided I moved over the conspiracy theory series over that, and then also have a new series also with let's talk about it. And Monty, that's when I ask a question, and I'll ask a question, and then we go over the comments to people.
It's interesting. I know you, and I've seen in the past how you do your shows, and
right.
Not to interrupt, but off of that nugget, it made me think. Have you discussed the whole NBA gambling controversy?
I have not
because
yet.
That's something that it's a topic that a lot of people, but there's also the conspiracy element. Like the way you choose these is very good because it's like one show promotes the other.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like that one itself. Like I'm waiting just a little bit long because there's so much more information coming out. It's like the whole thing with Diddy, the whole thing with Epstein, all the other stuff. The one we talked about briefly just a second ago with CK. There's so much information that it's one of those it's one of those ones I'm approaching. It's like, hey, I don't want to jump too quick on the gun to do an episode on it because I want to pull as much information as I can, piece that together, and to do an episode. So that's where I'm at with that. But the NBA gambling thing, dude, people are oh my god, I can't believe, dude, it's been going. Michael Jordan was part of it. I mean, if you want, why do you think people want to say, oh, he took off, that year and a half because of his father? No, he didn't. That was part of his suspension for all the gambling debts and everything he had. And that was 100% documented. That's in a book that they got the records for. That was what was going on with that. So to say that has not been going, it's been going on in major sports since major sports been major sports. Go back to the Gladiators. What do you think they were doing up there in the Coliseum? What do you think they were doing in the stands? They weren't freaking tweeting that crap out. They weren't just oh, I hope no. They were betting. It's been part of the games forever. Okay. Let's stop there. Just make it legal so we can get on with our lives. Anyways, but no, dude, I am excited about that one. Yeah. See, god dang it, man, stop bringing up stuff because you have me keep talking again. But no, yeah, like I said, one of the ones we did was what was one thing you could have lived without knowing. I'm not even gonna talk about that. And then the first one we did was what's a promise you made to yourself at an early age that you later broke when you got older. Now I haven't put out the next question yet because we were doing this episode. I think we're doing. Wait, did I say we're not? No, we're not alternating. Wait, but did we put one of those? Did we put Let's Talk About It episodes in there too?
No,
Okay,
unless you're doing those on the break weeks.
I mean, we could.
I mean, we can actually
We'll talk
go
about
back
it.
in and change things around too, because some of these too that we popped in there was more or less just to lighten it. So I mean, having a Let's Talk About It, as we know from the last one, definitely lightened things up for the most part until you learned certain things.
Yeah.
Our first episode.
This next question. Yeah. I will say this next question is not a light one. I mean, I'll tell you what the question is, and then but like I said, we're not going to be doing an episode on it now. But the question I'm going with next is, what dreams did you give up because of reality? I saw that look on your face, Ms. D. I saw that look. So that's going to be the next question. Like I said, when we're going to do that episode, what I'll do is I'll release that question. I'll release that question probably about a week, maybe 2 weeks prior, so we can kind of get comments built up. Because I'll post it on my Facebook page. I'll post a video that I'll put on YouTube, that we'll put on TikTok, that we'll put on Rumble. So I'll post to social media outlets, and then give everybody time to respond on those outlets as well. And then, like I said, then we'll kind of go from there when it comes to that. But yeah, that's a. I was going through some stuff. I saw that question. I was like, oh man, that's a. Woo! That's a dangerous, loaded question. Mm-hmm. Very dangerous, very loaded question. So, definitely looking forward to that. But yeah, so Ms. D, you have any comments you want to tell the good people before we get up out of here?
I am looking forward to the spinoff on this and to see the difference in mindset from conspiracy theory to a lot of the informational podcasts and historical podcasts that are done, because we know I'm a wealth of useless information.
It's not useless.
So, really?
Not to
sugar?
Oh yeah, that it wasn't useless. I mean, that's great. That's great information. I will just say this, Monty, like mine, the question I said, what's one thing you could done without, you could live your life without knowing. Mine was learning about the pink sock.
A pink sock.
The pink sock.
Mm.
It's just the
If you're unsure of what it is, don't look it up.
definitely don't look it up because they have.
I'm
pictures.
from a generation that was horrified by the B&E Pain Olympics and Two Girls, One Cup, etc. So
Oh,
I
God,
don't look
yeah.
things up anymore.
Yeah,
It's not
no.
like that.
Yeah,
It's just your sphincter just gets basically turned inside out and it's just hanging out like a tail. That's basically.
but me being in the medical industry, I know the treatment for it and decided to share that.
Which would sprinkle sugar on it.
Suck it right back in.
It looked like
I'm just
what?
gonna allow my imagination to be whatever it is and not dig any deeper.
Like what? Like I'm gonna
Your
have diabetes.
imagination's probably correct.
I'm gonna have diabetes in my butt. Like what? What's going on? Like, what is this? What is this? I just can't win for lose. God dang, it's some bullshit.
Exactly,
Yeah,
Amber. Or
chainsaws.
chainsaws, the
Yeah,
original.
chainsaws. I did not know that. I definitely could have lived the rest of my life without that. Okay, Mon, do you have anything you want to tell the good people before we get out of here?
Yeah, everything is fake. Voting doesn't matter because no matter who we vote into office, it's all the same team, it's all the same agenda. Stop buying useless crap. Focus on your friends, focus on your family. Who cares about anything else in the world? The end is fucking nigh. That's what I'll leave us on. There is hope. Just turn off the fucking TV. There you go.
Yeah. Turn off the TV, put down your devices,
Unless
except
you're
for when
watching
we're on
us.
here. Yes, except
Oh,
when we're
this,
here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let us aura farm. Right.
Yeah. No, I am not. I am not
Oh,
digging
DK.
deeper into the freaking. I'm not doing that. I understand why. What? Well,
Damn, foibles, you're gonna give him nightmares.
yeah, really. Okay. I'm just gonna say, number one, thank you very much for joining us for this episode. Like I said, we talked about an array of things, but the main subject was the Mandela effect, mass memory failure, or mass manipulation. This was definitely brought to you by Birdman Studios. But yes, thank you for joining us tonight. This was a lot of fun. It's a change of pace. I like the change of pace when we do things. So I'm definitely always appreciative of that. Like I said, if you want to check us out, if you want to check anything out with the Birdman Show, you can check us out on Rumble, which is one of our new platforms. Just go to Birdman Show. We're over on YouTube. I have changed the name because that freaking name was so freaking long that I couldn't stand it anymore. It used to be Birdman Show Podcast 9643. I was like, that is too freaking long. So I shortened it to our YouTube TBS, which is the Birdman Show 216. That's the new YouTube link for it. So if you're only on YouTube, you can search us up by doing that. It's just a lot easier. And then of course TikTok, you got us at the Birdman Show, and then of course Ace, who's also part of the Birdman Show. I don't really. I need to ask her if she wants me to put hers on there. I never did ask her. Original host of the Birdman Show. You can follow him also on TLB-ACE for that. We will be starting season 7 this Wednesday. We're gonna be talking about banned children's toys.
That's right.
And I'm scared, Monty, because I don't. There's some toys that I'm like, this is just, dude. There's one that I'm not gonna get into it. I'm not doing it. Nope, not doing it. I was appalled to find out this was an actual toy. So yeah, join us this Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central Time, right back here, same place. Nothing changes. Especially if you follow us on our other platforms, then you'll get a notification, let you know when we're going live. You can definitely join us on that. I will say this, I am currently working on a different, not platform, distributing service. And the reason why I'm working on it, same thing, you still be able to do the same things we're doing here, for the most part. But with that service, it allowed me to actually have a call-in line. So we could actually
Oh,
have people call in live and we could talk to people live. It's scary to think, but it is what it is. And then I have one more surprise. One more surprise. I will announce it now and I'll announce it again Wednesday. I am in talks with a company to start my own television station, streaming television station. So it mainly is going to be centered around my basketball team, the Tri-State 66ers. But by signing up with that, I'm also allotted 40 channels that I can do whatever the heck I want to. So the Birdman Show will be on that. It'll be something that you can actually put on like a smart TV. I think it's an app. You can go to the website because we'll have our own website, and we'll be able to broadcast that way. Like what we do, like what you guys hear, none of that changes. It's just where I'll be able to broadcast too. So not only will we be able to broadcast to YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Rumble, it'll also go there. So they will actually distribute from there and go everywhere else. So I'm excited about that. We're gonna be talking about that. I'm meeting with one of the other owners of the league that I own or I'm part owner in, and as well as I coach in. And we're going to talk about that stuff to see if we can get that going and a lot sooner than later. So I'm excited about that. Oh, one more thing. Don't forget to go to our Spotify channel where you can get the audio version of the Birdman Show. Just go to the Birdman Podcast. And of course, you can always follow us over on Patreon at patreon.com/the Birdman Show. I have nothing else to say. That was a lot that I did
Tim,
say.
if you ever get like kidnapped, like they'll probably just let you go because you'll just
Yeah.
tell them everything but what they want to hear.
Oh, I'll make up some stuff too, though. I'll be like, yo, like there's a time when I was 5 years old and I'm like Chunk on Goonies. Like where they were trying to stick his hand in the blender. Oh my god, okay. All right, let's get the hell out of here, y'all. Oh my god. Listen, I appreciate you all. You guys are phenomenal. I love you guys so very much. Love the support, definitely from TikTok. Hey, we got up to 8.6K over on TikTok. So thank you so very much for that support there. Thank you for joining us over here on Rumble, on YouTube. You guys are phenomenal too. Thanks for joining us from Mace Valor's world. All the people from there. Thank you guys for joining as well. Like I said, we'll be here every Monday for the conspiracy theories episodes. And then of course for the Birdman Show episodes, which if you think this is bad, it's almost 10 times worse over on that show. But we'll be here every Monday, every Wednesday, and then we do the recap on Thursdays, right back here at the same place at the same time. So thank you guys so very much for joining us. Love you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. Hopefully enjoy your week and keep it paradise, people. All right. We love you. For Mace Valor, for Miss D. I'm your boy, the Birdman. This has been a Birdman Show. Birdman Studios production. We out. Go ahead and do it with this one last time we get up out of here.